Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Learning and growing every day, right? So hopefully you all are doing well. I see a couple of folks already on Instagram. Hopefully you all are doing well out there. It is Tuesday. Is it trash day today?
It is.
It is trash day. That's not like a prompt or anything. That's our garbage day. But it was President's Day, so I don't know.
Oh, it
If
might not be now. Yeah.
so, we'll
I'm
see.
still gonna put it out because they always mess me up every time.
I'm Andrew, by the way. That's William.
I'm William.
We're here at not Star Cottage Studio. We're
Not
here
Allegory
at our
Gallery.
home. We had a busy day today. I started off having a massive migraine, so I kind of slept in a little bit. I think I needed it. My body was like, "You shall not pass." So I had to rest a little bit today. But William, he got up, and Adam, you were at the cottage, you were at the store, packing stuff up. You were packing orders, getting a lot of stuff shipped. I saw the bags he brought. There's still a lot of stuff that's going out. There's stuff going out every day. If you have any questions about orders, you should get a shipping notification, and just keep an eye on those. A lot of them have been combined, so that's kind of where it gets a little bit sticky. But hopefully, things are going out every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and there are a few things that we've pre-printed that some people may be waiting for. I know people are asking, but we are getting to them.
Well, the one like the boxes. Well, the one thing about the boxes is that I had to finish them up. Well, no, I finished most of them. There's ones that I didn't finish up, but then we were kind of like the weather was bad. So, anyways, so today, he was over at the cottage and
Most
at
of
the
day at the
store,
cottage.
and then I'm in a show in England right now, or it's not right now, but it's coming up soon. And they asked to do a video. And so
a 2-minute video.
It was a 2-minute video.
Imagine Andrew telling his whole life story
in 2 minutes. I didn't even get through the hello, and it's already 3.5 minutes. So, anyways,
you've been furiously editing that.
He's been editing like crazy. I'm just like, make it nicer, make me sound nice and not mean. And so we did a little bit of a store tour, not a store tour. We did a studio tour, and I had to let go of all my inhibitions about having a messy studio because it looks like a tornado.
There's no way that was getting clean before that video.
I was like,
should we try and clean in amongst
No. I would have passed out.
The moving and the.
I didn't get paid for that, so no. So yeah, it was just a lot to kind of, for a 2-minute video, you would be surprised how much of the day was spent working on that.
And still, which is why Andrew is behind the camera right now.
Correct. So I see there's a couple people watching.
So I'm going to go continue editing.
He threw me off with some of his talking. I was trying to think about stuff. Anyways, go away now. I'm busy.
Go away
now. Suzanne is watching. Hi, Suzanne. Facebook user is watching. Hi, Facebook user. Marianne's watching. Hi, Marianne. Teresa's watching. Hey, Teresa. Amanda's watching. Hi, Amanda. Norma's watching. Hi, Norma. Let's see. Facebook user says, I want to see it. Maybe we'll post it maybe after it's done. It's real kind of, so they had some different options. One of them was to do a studio tour, and I walked everybody through, or I walked William through the studio tour, and that took like 4 minutes. And so at one point I was like, and trying to like speed it up, and that sounded ridiculous. And also there was like so much junk on the floor that almost became like a tripping hazard trying to run through the studio, showing everything. So we decided to go in a different direction. And they also had a list of questions. And I was like, I can't, I've probably talked 2 minutes per subject per question, let alone like encapsulating my whole entire biography and maker manifesto in less than 2 minutes. So I guess that's like an elevator pitch. This is basically an elevator pitch. So we'll see. I'll probably ask William to upload it so y'all can see if it looks all right. It's a little bit choppy in some places because we kind of did some little tucking, inserting some stuff. So there's a little bit of a difference, but it should be fine. So if you did not see the past couple days, we've been doing gemstone sale. One of our vendors from Tucson was very kind and allowed us to shop online with them, via the phone, and we picked out a bunch of stuff. So if you did not see those videos, there's 3 days worth of gemstones, and there was a lot. I think there's over 100. I don't know. I keep hearing things in the background. I'm wondering if something's gonna fall down or what. But anyway, those cats. I also had to re-record some of my talking because the cat started meowing. So obviously, I'm not a quick format person. Marion said, a minute tour of the studio would be the entry door. Correct. At which point I was apologizing for how messy it was and all that. So, anyways, we are mostly done. William showed it to me and looked fine. I kind of dread looking at myself a lot. Um, so it is what it is, you know. It'll just have to be the way it'll be. But I think it turned out pretty good. William's pretty good at editing videos, so he pulled it all together and coalesced it, and he's still working on it and adjusting it. So I think he's doing a good job. He's polishing up what he had to work with. So, anyways, the store move is still happening. We are still working. It's a lot of work. It's a little bit overwhelming, to be honest, but we're breaking it down into digestible segments. So it's not as bad as it could be, but it is still a lot. So we've just kind of had to kind of roll with it. There's a couple of friends in town or in the peripheral area that I kind of feel bad about because I wanted to hang out with them while they were around. However, I just can't squeeze. The days aren't long enough, y'all. Hey, Julie. Julie's watching. Facebook user says that I'm beautiful. Thanks. Some days more than others, I guess. But it's one of those things where you just have to get used to it. It's like anybody. If you're not used to hearing yourself being recorded or seeing yourself being recorded, it's a little startling, jarring. I don't know, discombobulating. So anyways, so we've been working on that today. Hi, Julie, other Julie. So we've been working on that today. That's almost finished. And for today's live, we had a couple different ideas for what we wanted to do. But one of the things that we wanted to try to kind of underscore is that we still have a sale going on in the online store. So that's www.allegorygallery.com. Did I get the right amount of W's? www.allegorygallery.com. And if you use the coupon code Moving Sale, you can save 25% 5% off your order, which is a pretty big deal. There are some exclusions, there are things that like Williams Pottery is not on sale. There's a couple of new things that we just debuted that are not new, but then there are also some new things that are on sale. If you were looking to get one of my dragons from the Here Be Dragons series, they're on sale right now. So take advantage of that and get it for pretty much 25 bucks. I mean, for original artwork, it's small but mighty. Why pay more, right? Um, I have a couple more of those that I'm still working on. But, in the middle of everything, those are not really getting done. But yeah, so we've been super busy. Take advantage of that sale. And we thought that what we would do today is show some things from the website that people may not have seen. Because there's just a lot of stuff, there's just a ton of stuff on the website. We get it. And if you don't go through every single page, you might miss them, So we thought we would take today to do that. And we'll see what else we get up to. Who knows? Maybe I'll get bored of that and then we'll do something else. That would not be the first time that that's happened. So hopefully you all are doing well. If you're watching, say hello. Say where you're watching from. See, there's a couple people on Instagram. Hey, Instagram friends. Cheryl's watching. Hey, Cheryl. Yeah, so we've been busy as usual. Yesterday, William did a little bit of a progress report in the middle of the day, updating y'all about how the move is going. Stuff's getting done little by little. We're chipping away at it. But yeah, that's just one of those things. We're getting there. All right, so I'm going to flip this around before we lose any more people. Seems like when William talks, everybody's like, I got to see this William. And then we get like into the 30s and 40s. And then when I'm on, it's like 5 people. Wow, understandable. So you're going to see the ceiling for a second. And let me see if I can remember how to do this. It's been a hot minute since I've done this. Pretty much since my dad died, I haven't really been on camera very much. So I'm out of practice, y'all. I think it's this one. But that doesn't look right. Oh boy, this looks like he's got this ultra wide. Let me see. Lower this down. All right. So how are y'all doing? Are you having a good start to your week? We've been busy getting stuff ready. Here, this is for color balance. This is for sizing purposes. Let me switch this around. This is also for sizing purposes. That is a cat hair. All right. So, unlike our recent videos, you don't have to email us to take advantage of the things that I'm showing you today. All you have to do is go to our website, which is www.allegorygallery.com. It's all one word, all lowercase, all together. If you can't find it that way, just Google us and it should come up right away. I'm going to try to give you SKU numbers. So if you type in the SKU numbers, they will also come up with the products so you can get up-to-date pricing, because I don't think I have prices for everything. But I thought I would go through and kind of show you some different things that we have in the website that you may or may not have seen. And the reason why I'm doing that, like I said earlier, is because I want you all to be able to take advantage of that sale that we've got going on right now. It definitely helps a lot because we don't have the physical store open and we don't actually know when we're able to open it again. So there's a couple complications that we have to kind of navigate. Um, so the goal is the middle of March, kind of, but it's starting to edge towards the end of March. So, we'll keep you all updated on that as well. But your patronage definitely helps. And we are so appreciative of all of you out there who have kept us going. It's not been super easy with everything going on in life, but we're able to do it because of all of you out there who genuinely care for us and believe in us and want us to keep going. So thank you. All right. Who's ready? I'm ready. I should ask William to get me a drink because I'm getting where I've been talking all day on the camera. I wonder if he can hear me in my mind. All right. So these are super dang cute. And I don't know if they're all tangled up or what. Let me look real quick. All right. I'm almost ready, y'all. How are y'all doing? What are y'all up to? Y'all doing anything? How's life? Okay. So Teresa says ready. Cool. Oh, and if you'd be so kind, please like and share this video. It really does help. I always forget to ask people to do that, but we actually see our numbers go up when people do that. So please like and share our videos. If you aren't on YouTube, like our YouTube and subscribe and all that jazz. Oh, he did hear me. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Hey, Susan. All right. So I've got these really cute vintage plastic red cherries. I got these. They're German resin. I got these in Tucson last year. I think these are so dang cute. And let me see. I'm not as fancy as William. I don't have everything going. He's got like computer printouts of stuff and all kinds of stuff, but I'm not. I'm like loving hands at home up in here, but that's all right. I guess it breaks things up for y'all. Julie says, I'm trying to sort through my Tucson treasures. Fun, but there's a lot. I hope you had a good time. We were sad not to go this year, but with everything going on for us, it just would have been, I would have lost my mind a little bit. So it worked out, I think, in the end for us not going this year. And luckily, a couple of our vendors allowed us to shop with them, and they sent us things. So that made it super nice because we still were able to offer new things, but didn't have to go. It's always such a production when I go. I think it would be nice to go and just shop. That's exhausting in itself. But usually when we go to Tucson, we're set up somewhere to kind of offset the expenses of traveling. And it takes months, y'all. It takes months and months and months to get ready. So it's just a big kind of production. We do have some exciting news. We're going to be going down to Baltimore for the Baltimore Jewelry Center. April Wood is teaching a casting class. Unfortunately, we didn't get into the one in Massachusetts. There, the class got full. So I wanted to. I worked really hard. I still have some pieces I'm going to debut. Julie said Tucson was great. Still recovering. Oh, that's the other thing. I'm kind of glad I didn't go because every year there's this crud that goes around and folks get sick. And I am 100% glad that I didn't get sick this year. It happens every year. So I'm kind of glad. You just see so many people from all over, and it's in the middle of winter. But anyway, so these are really cute. I think these would make such cute earrings, kind of like, what do you call that? Betty Page style. Rockabilly, a little bit kitsch. I think that'd be super cute. You get 6 of these German resin cherry. They're more like charms. The SKU for this is S1117, and I believe they're $9.50 for 6. And that, if you get those, I got those from my friend Ava Motherwell. She owns and runs the whole bead show. If you don't know her, go out and give her a follow. She's super cool. We've known her for a very long time, and we really like her stuff. So there are these fun cherries. You can find those on the website, and you can save 25% off if you use the coupon code Moving Sale. So do that and take advantage of that. Norman says, I have some of those cherries. They're cute. Haven't decided what to do with them yet. I kind of think I would want to do like a giant blackbird sculpture. And by giant, not that big. But picking the cherries. Isn't there like a children's story about cherries and blackbirds? I don't know. All right. Julie Peterson says, I just shop, so it's fun for me, but still exhausting. I think I saw some of the things that you were making with some of the stuff you got, and it looks good. I particularly like your African beads. Those pieces turned out really well. All right. So this is something that we made, and we have it in 2 flavors. We have it in this kind of gold, this matte gold acrylic, and then we have one more in this tortoise shell. And Julie says, the African stuff is my passion. Me too. I love trade beads. I love African beads. I actually got some in recently, so maybe I'll share some of those. This side is like a brushed metal look, and this one is S1100 and S1101. So those are those. And let me see how much those cost, because I don't actually remember. Actually, I don't know any of the prices. So there's that. So it's $8. These are based off of my original drawings. And we have a laser, and we cut the acrylic. I don't have a ton of this acrylic, so that's why they're limited in quantity, because sometimes the materials are hard to get. And we started doing a lot of stuff when we got our new laser, and that there's been supply chain issues still. So there's certain things that I just, you get it when you can get it, and then Maybe you see it again, maybe you don't. You never know. Because there's this glitter one that I love. There's a glitter acrylic that I love. There's a Kate Spade quote where she says, she leaves a little bit of glitter wherever she goes. And I just love it on that glitter acrylic. But they glitter acrylic, sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. So, anyways, these ones are available in the online store. Cheryl says, now I somehow missed those in the shop. See, that's why we're doing this, because, you know, the shop, there's a ton of stuff. I think people don't realize just how much stuff there is in the shop. A lot of times people just see what we kind of point them to, or the newest, latest things. But we have literally thousands of items in our online store. If you didn't get enough gemstones, y'all, take a look at these. Beautiful, beautiful. This is rutilated quartz. Sometimes they call this the angel hair quartz. Whenever I hear that, I think of pasta. So, and then also, how do you know the angel's hair is blonde headed? I don't know. Or like gold. I don't know. Maybe the angel's hair is black headed or red headed. You don't know. Maybe it doesn't have hair at all. So, but the technical term is rutilated quartz. They're in these fun, faceted teardrop beads. I like them. If you like them, you can check them out online in our website. And their code is S1102. There's one strand of that available left. And let me see how much those are. Those ones are 78, but you can save 25% off if you use the coupon code moving sale. I'm going to try to not do as many gemstones unless y'all want to see them, because we just did a couple days worth of gemstones. Maybe y'all tired of the gemstones. You're like, oh, again? Oh, never mind. I take that back. I'm going to show these. Hot dang. I just edited myself, if you did not notice. I might keep these. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Get ready. Look at these. You get them slices. You know what would help if I had another light? Let's make that happen. Put my very fancy diffuser. So these ones, oh boy, I can't get enough of it. S1111. Marianne says, I always like to drool over gemstones. Me too. But you know, sometimes people like to spice it up. So these ones, if you go on the website, they are natural rubies and hexagon slices. These are not a cheap date, y'all. But when you all gonna see that is $245 minus 25%. And look at that. Ooh, let me tell you, that's my love language. Look at that. It's got those little bands of shapes within the shapes. You just need a little bit of this. I probably would set these. I have set these. There's a little bit smaller ones. But I have set some in the past, and I cut a little window out. And I thought those looked particularly nice. This one's extra. You can cut that one off and just send it back to me. I would be happy to take it all day. So this is in our website. Again, we wanted to do something where we kind of showed you some of the things that we have that maybe we didn't show recently. Like, I don't even remember when we got these. Probably last year in Tucson, but I don't remember. Look at that. It's got a little window. You're going to look into the world of rubies. The Ruby Nation up in here. Not the Rhythm Nation. You're going to see the Ruby Nation. Susan watching. Hey, Susan. You know, we have a lot of people with the same name. We have, like, there's 2 Teresas, 2 Julies, 2 Susans, sometimes more. I think that's funny. Maybe not that funny. But, you know. Anyway, so this one, this on the internet, we got that in the internet. You know what they kind of remind me of, and this probably is not going to sell it, but I think it reminds me. You know them purple carrots? It reminds me of them purple carrots, but in hexagons. Like, you know how they make them those ladies go on the Instagram, and then I say ladies because I haven't seen a guy do this, but they make the kids their lunch, and then they spend like 4 hours making the kids lunch, and they like cut the vegetables in cute shapes and fold the dumplings into little kitty cat shapes, and there's a little creature gonna go and take a bath in the broth and stuff. And so maybe if it's like that, then they cut the purple carrots into hexagons. um but anyways, I used to make William lunch when he worked at Apple, and I made him lunch like one time, and then they all started praising him for his lunch. And they're like, "Oh, that looks delicious. That looks great." So I felt the pressure to do that every night. And so I used to like stay up and I'd be like falling asleep after working all day, making his lunch for the next day. And I used to make, because we weren't vegetarians then, so I would make him these little fish cakes that were so cute, and people were like, "Oh, that looks like it was like from a restaurant." People didn't know I worked in a restaurant though. Susan said my name was common when I was growing up, but no one names their child Susan anymore. Yeah, it'll probably be a lot of like Skylers and Tegans and Hunters and Taylors. All right, let's do something else. Ooh, I like these ones. There's another Amy. We got 2 Amy's. All right. So you will see this. I left a tag on it because that's how much we charge y'all. This is lot. Not a lot. It's just showing. I'm just showing. We're just doing recap. You can find all of this on the website. It's already here. You don't have to claim nothing. Well, you can claim it, but do it in the form of putting it in your cart on the website and click checkout. And then we're going to skip all this like invoice, and you just go directly to the website, use that coupon code. You're going to save 25%. And there you go. All right. So this one is S1116. And this is more of that. This is Italian. I think this is polyester, but it's like vintage plastic. But these are so pretty. Look at them. They're like pearls, but they got that glow. I was not a fan of plastic for a long time. I was like, oh, yeah, plastic. But you know what? I met Heather DeSimone. She had a business called The Beaten Path. And she said, "You don't like plastic? Come on over to my booth. I'm going to show you." And so she showed us the plastic. and it changed my life. And now I like plastic. I think it's cool. It's like everything. Not everything is created equally. Sometimes, like gemstones. I love gemstones, but do I love all gemstones? No, I do not love all gemstones. It just depends on the quality, right? So if you or the color or whatever, everything has kind of purpose. So with vintage plastics or plastic or whatever, you can get bright colors, you can get lightweight. There's a lot of things that you can't get in other materials. Like, I mean, I guess you can get lightweight and colorful with wood, but you're not going to get that kind of same transparency that you got with like these, for example, where it's like glowing at you. So, yeah, I think everything has its place. So there you go. Lennis is watching. Hey, Lennis. She said, "Look like shampoo." I like shampoo. My shampoo doesn't look like this anymore. Our shampoo is like blue and is scented like a tree. I think it's like vetiver and like dirt or something. I don't know. That that's that new fragrances. So this one, you get these for $6 minus the 25% off if you use the coupon code. Now, don't be going and get too excited and jump the gun and forget to use your coupon code, because it makes some more work. Just put that in there, moving sale, and then you save, and then you don't have to worry about it. All right. We're going to move on. All right. Marion says, my shampoo is clear, but my conditioner looks like that. I have like the all-in-one. We started using. I bought this for William a couple years ago. I'll show it to you. There's another one I got. Hold on. In theory, it's right here. I don't know where it then got raptured. Well, there was soap. I don't know where it went. I've been staring at it for days, but it's gone now. Oh well. It's this stuff called Duke Cannon. I might have brought it down to the bathroom already to use, but it smells good. Lennis says, I'm tempted by that tar soap you have. It works really well, but it has a particular smell of pine tar. And if you are not a fan of pine tar, then I laugh sometimes because they like, oh, soap, and then they like smell it, and then they are not expecting the smell of pine tar, and I just laugh and laugh, but like quietly into myself because I'm not hateful, or I try not to be. Ooh, look at these. All right, let me see. These ones. These are $10 retail. Look at that. You gonna go to the party. I bet Taylor Swift would like these. But she probably want the diamonds that look like this. But this one, you don't have her $1 billion budget, then maybe you get this one. And they're the Italian vintage plastic. And these ones are, I love these. I'm going to do a story time in a second once I write this down. I see all the people they dropped in numbers. So I don't think people appreciate my style. People like it better with William because he's got a much better like speaking voice, maybe. So anyways, when I was little, okay, so I'll back this up. We didn't have a lot of money, and we used to go to like yard sales and garage sales and flea markets. And there was this vendor, and he used to sell costume jewelry and all kinds of random knickknackety stuff. And he had this brooch, and it was probably one of the most gaudy things I have ever seen. Um, and it was like all these like clear rhinestones and sequins, and I just my eyes lit up. And he was like, you know what? Every boy who's been by this booth, they've been looking at this thing and they've been wanting it, but and he wasn't gonna sell it to me. And he was like, you better get your parents. Because I'm not gonna corrupt the minors or whatever. And so I got my mom, and she's like, no, no. And then my dad was like, no. And then I was like, I don't know how I eventually got it. I think I convinced them that I was getting it as a present for my mom. And I was like, but it would be a great present for you, mama. And then so somehow we got this brooch. And so I was not that old. I was probably maybe like 7 or 8, maybe 9. I don't know. One of those early developmental ages. And I was convinced that I wanted to look like this rhinestone. So I had seen my dad do some kind of craft. He's probably working on shelves or something, and he shellacked the shelves. So I knew that by using this material, you would become shiny. And I had seen my mom use Vaseline. So I coated my arms with shellac to make them shiny like a diamond. And I greased my hair and most of my face with Vaseline. When my parents saw me come out, they were horrified and of course were a little bit upset about how I had wasted a pretty much a jar of Vaseline, slathering myself like a greasy eel, and the my arms were like shiny. And probably that was not the best thing to do. I mean, you probably shouldn't. Normally they're like, "Oh, you gotta use ventilation with shellac." Well, there's no ventilation when it's like on your skin. So that probably wasn't very good for me, but I'm here now, so it couldn't have been that bad. Anyway, so um that's one of those stories of my youth time. And my dad was like, "What now? What now?" All right. Um Lena says, "I need those." Susan says, "I love your stories though. I mean, this is those bees are so cool. Looks like a sparkly planet." I know. These are pretty. These are online in the online store, and you can save 25% off. You get them glitter beads. You can have all the glitter ball parties you want, and they're glowing at you. All right, let me get the next one on. Oh, here we go. This one, Mama Spice. This one, Baby Spice. So these ones are littler. And these ones, let me get these out there. I'll put them on there for you. And so these are 8mm peach, 20 beads, and then this is 14mm peach glitter beads. So you got two varieties. Those are online in our website. So if you're a Temptation Island by it, there you go. Because sometimes you don't want to have like King Kong style, even though those aren't that big. Teresa says, "Love your stories, Andrew." Well, whether people like them or not, I'm gonna tell them. So I guess that's that. That'd be like somebody's gonna write email. "Dear William, please only let William talk on the camera. I am very off put by his stories of painting himself with shellac as a child." I don't even remember how they got all that off. You know, my first day of high school, I saw somebody greasing their face up with Vaseline, but it was for different purposes. Um, I was perplexed. I was like, why is she putting Vaseline on her face? What is she doing? So I was in this program called the International Baccalaureate Program. I don't know if y'all have heard of that, but basically they'll put um, they put this program in schools that are like underfunded, so that it draws money and like boosts the test scores of that school. And so I was in the IB program there. And so the IB kids is mostly I know I fully uh accept this about myself, but a bunch of nerdy kids. Let me just tell you, a lot of sheltered kids too. So we were going to lunch, and it was pretty much our high school was in the hood, and I'm not joking about this. But we went to this school. I'm not going to say which one it is because then people will look it up and then they'll be like, that's not the hood, and then get defensive or whatever. But anyway, so we went to this school, and lunchtime comes around. This girl, she starts taking her hoop earrings off, and she starts popping her nails off and greasing her face up with Vaseline. And I had never seen this before. And I was like, what is happening? What's going on here? And so then I quickly realized what was going to happen, because these two girls, they collided and they started scratching each other's faces and punching, and their fists would like glance off of each other's faces because they're greased up, and they wouldn't scratch their skin, so they would just like it would just like come right off, it wouldn't, like, if you, I guess, if you're dry and not all greased up, then like it would like there'd be friction, I guess, and it like, I don't know, the skin would, I don't know, get messed up. Anyway, so they were fighting, and so the one girl, she's wearing a white shirt, and she got it ripped, and her areas were all flopping around, and it was the first day of high school, and all these kids is horrified. William came in to check on me.
No, I just need that.
That's
Yeah, my computer died.
I was telling the story of these two girls that were fighting, and then her areas were flopping everywhere because her shirt got ripped in half.
Oh no!
And then
what in the world is the story hour?
I know. And then you could always tell when there was a fight because we called them tumbleweaves, and there was like pieces of weave that would blow around campus, and so we called them tumbleweaves. William just shook his head and just laughed. All right, so you like these ones? These ones, they're glitter beads. They don't have nothing to do except be shiny. And these are more of like a pink color. I would say this almost like a berry. But those are real pretty. I like those. You can find those on the website. Amanda, she said, I'm being paged. Hopefully I can come back. If not, take care, everyone. And then Susan says, my high school started that after I left. Linus had the laughing face. And Amy says, she gonna throw hands. She know what's up. Yeah, so that was my introduction. Oh, they also said, this is the first day of school. Again, many sheltered children. And they said, everybody get under the tables. There is an impromptu tornado drill. And the teacher went and locked the door. Now, bear in mind, this is in Florida. And so if you've ever been to like a Florida high school, sometimes like one of the walls was all windows, and it was like floor to ceiling window. So it's not like, it's not like bulletproof glass. It's straight up just glass. So you get under these little desks that's not even big enough to put a notebook, let alone a whole human. And they said, oh, it's for tornado drill. Let me just tell you, there was no tornado drill. It was a gang shooting. And they were trying to protect the children. All right. So here, check these glitter bees out. This got the Rambo Nation in them. I am surprised I still have these because I love these. I'm a smitten kitten with this. Look at that. It's going to bewitch you all day long. People are going to say, what is that? They're going to think that's a giant opal. But it's not. It's called plastique. No, it's a vintage Italian plastic for less than $10. Yeah, Lena says we had atomic bomb drills, and so many windows. Correct. She also grew up in Florida, so she knows exactly what I speak of. In my high school, as I mentioned, there was a very underfunded school, and it was the last school to desegregate in Central Florida. And it was also off the books, still segregated. So they had to use to ship in different kids of different ethnicities so that they could get the right numbers. So that was a big thing then. But so there used to be like a white bathroom and a black bathroom. And when I tell people this, they're like, what? What? And those buildings aren't there anymore. We recently drove by the high school a couple years ago, and it is like state of the art now. It's got like laser beams and stuff, and like high tech. There's actually a fence, so you can't actually like go into the school anytime you want. Back when I was, there'd be people, and you're like, "How old are you?" And they'd be like, "I'm 30," and be like, "Why are you at the high school?" And then they're like, "Well, my friend is in class right now," and it'll be like, "But why are you here?" Um, so that was, memories, memories of simple times. Susan says, one of my worst nerve wracking moments was when my husband texted me gunshots heard, school on lockdown. There was a very um, tense moments before he texted back that he was okay. That's scary. I'm sorry you had to experience that. Yeah, I kind of feel like when I went to high school, there was a lot of like, I don't know, it was like a TV show. There was always so much stuff happening. But I also went to a very large school. So there was like 1,000 kids per grade. So it was more like a community college in that way. And I guess by sheer volume, you know, um, that's what's up. All right, take a look at this. Aren't these cool? Aren't they cool? I like them. These ones have a little bit, they're more pale. They're not so Technicolor. But let me see. One. These are natural ruby and zoisite. And these are going to be no. S1105. And they retail for $95, but you can save if you use that coupon code. Luna says, yeah, that's why it's a red flag when people say they want to go back to simpler times. I always am skeptical of what they mean. Correct. Susan says, it was a rolling gun battle that went past the school. The person being chased ran into the school before the doors were locked. Hundreds of spent bullet casings were left behind. Oh boy. Yeah, that unfortunately was pretty common where I grew up. There's always something happening. You could not pay me to be a principal at that school. I feel like they were always on the news trying to explain away what was happening. And there were a lot of really amazing teachers there. I'm still in contact with a lot of them. Some of them might be watching. And yeah, there were good things. So it wasn't all bad things. So people don't. Marion says, never ever been simple times, although we had no atomic or tornado drills when I was in high school. Oh, we got all kinds of stuff. We got, yeah, because we grew up in Florida. So there's all kinds of stuff that could happen. So there's drills for everything, it seemed like. Fire drill, this, that, all kinds of stuff. We had a thing that was where they like reenacted an accident, and they like had a wrecked car, and they had a thing where it was supposed to be like if you're like impaired, like if the car would like overcorrect. So they would have people like drive it around the football field, and then they would like, it was to show that you were like, if you had one sip of alcohol, then you couldn't drive. And then they had like these actors that came, and they would like get dressed in this bloody clothes and then like scream and stuff. And then of course the popular kids were the ones that got those parts. So you're like, oh. Anyways. Susan says, we had tornado drills every year, but no atomic drills. Look at these. They're glowing at y'all. That mermaid glass business. Let me see if I can find that mermaid glass. So this is 10 millimeters. This is the bigger ones. I want to say that these are $11.50 before the discount. And let me see if this code works, because MG10, they don't come up nothing. So if you type mermaid glass, this comes up. All right. Or MG10 with a space, that comes up. There's two ones that come up with that. So there's a blue one, and there's this kind of lavendery color. Susan says, pretty. I have these. I think these are so cool. I love mermaid glass. Let me tell you, anything that's got like a chatoyance or a fire or a flash, I'm in it to win it. That's my love language, y'all. All right. Let me pull something else out. All right. So hopefully you all are doing well. Have you been making anything? You getting into any kind of activities? Oh, these are cool. Let me see. We've been watching this show called In with the Old. So these ones have the lovely title. That's not it. These ones called Melon Beads Dirty Seafoam. Isn't that a lovely name, Dirty Seafoam? That's a vendor came up with that name. So we probably should change that because I love these beads and they that name does not do them justice. All right, these are 10.50 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you got 4-inch strand. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you get 10. Let me see if there's any. I done scared the people off of the Instagram. They're like, what is he talking about? These horrifying stories. Lorena is watching. She says, hello, Andrew. It is the newbie Lorena. Is it Lorena or Lorena? So nice to meet you. I paid the invoice last night's purchase today. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you, newbie. Marianne says, distress seafoam. Those are cool. I like them. They got nice big holes too. So if you wanted to put leather on those, you can put leather, and that would be great. Or a thick cording, or a beaded cord. That'd be cool too. If you did not know, William and me own the shop, and we just celebrated 12 years in business this past September. So, yeah, we're excited to be doing what we do. All right, these ones are cool. These are some Javanese glass. And these ones, there's 2 of those. These are kind of a brownish red, but they've got a white speckle on them and they're slightly dimpled. They kind of look like they would be like a dessert. I'm interested in food talk, by the way. So, these ones, I believe they are Javanese maroon, Javanese glass, Java glass maroon, Java glass maroon. These are $13.50 retail. Sugared cranberries. I'm into that. Susan says, my hubs and I watched a documentary called Kraftwerk and the Electronic Revolution. We recommended for Kraftwerk fans and those who enjoy other electronic music. I wonder if Harry knows about that. Susan also said, I took pictures of some of the things I made, but keep forgetting to post them. Marianne says, still sorting beads. So if you are interested in these ones, they're on the website. That's allegorygallery.com. And if you type in Java Glass Maroon, they'll come right up. And don't forget to use the coupon code Moving Sale, and you can save 25% off in the online store. I was gonna say in the in-person store, but it's not open. William has been working. I've been working a little bit, not as hard as he has. He's been doing a good job making sure. Oh, these ones are fun. All right. Y'all like cats. I know some of y'all like cats. Look at this ectoplasmic kitten. Radioactive. This not. Um, these are vintage German resin and cats. Super lightweight. These are cool. These would be great for Halloween. Or, I don't know, if you like neon kitties. Lorena says, today I watched a few videos people posted on YouTube from Tucson. Wow, I wish I could visit next year. Is Tucson only open to businesses? No. Tucson, there's about 42 shows going on around the same time. Some of them are retail, some of them are wholesale. The retail shows, some of them you have to register beforehand. Some of the wholesale shows you just need a tax ID to get in, or so if you have a vendor friend, sometimes they can hook you up. Um, and some of the shows are much more difficult to get into. There are some shows that you have to apply, and then you get juried into to shop the show. You have to provide, I think it's like 3 years worth of financial statements, and you have to have somebody recommend you to go into the show. But those are usually like the fine jewelry shows and like the diamond shows. So I went to one, and there were armed guards with semi-automatic rifles or whatever, big guns at all the doors, and you had to go through a metal detector and all kinds of stuff. But you know what? That was just for looking from me, because I don't have the kind of money to drop on like a $15,000 one single diamond. So, anyways, that it just depends. There's all different kinds of shows. I do recommend they produce a thing called the Tucson Show Guide, and I don't know if it's still being made, but it lists all of the shows going on. It has all of the shuttle bus routes. It has all of the times. It's super important to check the dates of your show if you're planning a trip, because some shows are forever long. They're over a month long, some of the shows, and some of the shows are there for a weekend. So if you want to go to those one shows, you have to make sure that you get there when they're open, because sometimes you can go to a show and then there's none open. And I've seen that where people, they come to the show and they're like, there's no shows open, and they either came too early or too late. And there's only like a handful of shows still open. So just keep that in mind if you are making a plan to go. Um, Marion says Tucson's open to the public. Kind of. Sometimes some shows you're not allowed to go. It's not open to the public. The wholesale shows definitely not open to the public. Some of them you have to make appointments to go. But there's 46, 42 shows going on all at once. So there's 22nd Street that's open to the public. Whole Bead Show that's open to the public. Um, I think the casino is open to the public. You do have to register for that show. There's a bunch of shows. So and there's also shows where there's like a parking lot, and, like the Miners Co-op show open to the public. African Art Village is open to the public. So there are shows that are open to the public, but AGTA is not open to the public. Um, um, GJX is not open to the public. Um, there's a bunch of other ones. Gem Mall, not open to the public unless you have a tax ID. And there's a bunch of the GLW shows that are not open to the public. So you just have, you have to do a little bit of research. Also, plan what you're going to do, what you're going to shop for, and narrow it down because there's a lot of stuff. So that it makes it hard, you just don't know. It can be overwhelming. I've seen people where they blew their budget in one booth the first day they were there, the first booth, and then the rest of their trip didn't have any money. So you kind of have to plan it around, and shop around. But we've been going for probably 20 years. So Lena says, are the eyes big enough to glue crystals? Um, I think so. Depends what size. But if they are little chatons, you probably could get crystals that would fit. Little tiny ones. Lorena said, did purchases from last Thursday ship? Some of them did, some of them did not. I don't know. I actually don't work in the shipping department. Usually our friend Barb, she helps us out with the shipping, and she's very good about shipping on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. William is taking over for shipping while she's away. She had a grandbaby, so she's away for the whole month. And so he's been doing the shipping. And so some of the things have been shipping out. We've been shipping things every single day because we've been having the online sale. So there's a lot of packages that have gone out. But it just depends because, like, if there's something that hasn't gone out, then it hasn't gone out yet. So one thing that I will say about that is, generally speaking, you'll get a shipping notification whenever any shipping label is created for an order. So you just hang tight and you can track your package. And sometimes they go out quicker, sometimes a little bit slower, depending on if there's a holiday or whatever, or a snow day or all kinds of stuff. So you can always monitor your packages that way. And that's the easiest way. Because if you email us, then we have to look, and sometimes it's ready, sometimes it's already gone. It's just it's extra work. And you already have all of the abilities to do that at your fingertips. Okay. Julie said, Jogs, Casino, Kino, African Village, Pueblo, all public. Usually we attend every year. We didn't go this year. And we shopped with our vendors virtually because we're moving our store. So that is pretty big. So we did not go this year physically. But usually I go. We drive across the country. All right. So these ones are very fun. I think they're fun. These are S1154. And they're on the website. And you can save 25% off with the Moving Cell coupon code. And these are those little eyes that I was using in my creatures. You get a little baggie of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, you're more than welcome to ask. And I'm always happy to give an answer if I have one. She asks, that's okay. I'm only asking because I'm new to this channel. Well, welcome. I hope you enjoy the things you ordered and you love the AG Bead fam as much as we do. It's always nice to have new folks around. And yeah, all right. So these beads, they've got the green eyes with the black pupils. And yeah, S1154 online. That's on our website. Susan said this particular vendor really has high quality stock. Oh, from the one that we just got stuff from? Yeah, so we have so we do a thing where we try to find price points for everybody in mind. So I try to find stuff that is a little bit less expensive, and I also try to find stuff that's more higher end. And this is one of our higher end vendors where we get stuff from. So if you're interested in any of those videos, they are posted on Thursday, Friday, and yesterday, Monday. And those ones you can get a look. There's over 150 lots that we posted of gemstones. So lots of really beautiful things. It took a long time to pick everything out, obviously, because not only were they trying to work a show, but they were also helping us shop. So hopefully you all like those. Definitely check those out if you miss them. And yeah, like today, um, we're just doing kind of a rough recap of what we've got going on the website. That way, because there's thousands of items on the website, and not everybody sees everything. So yeah, so there are these eye beads. I love these. I did a tutorial on sculpting. I have a vague feeling that I'm going to be teaching this sculpting class in Pittsburgh coming up this spring. So if you're local to Pittsburgh or want to travel in for that, keep your eyes peeled and we'll have more information as that develops. I'm thinking of making some kind of whimsical bouquets of different flowers, like anthropomorphic flowers with little faces. But we'll see. All right, so these ones they retail for $4.50 for a little baggie, and the coupon code is S1154 on the websites. Marianne says, particularly gorgeous specimens this year. Oh, thanks. We worked really hard. We couldn't buy as much as we wanted. But one of the nice things was since we didn't get to go, normally I kind of spread the wealth when I go. And I shop at at one vendor and then go to a different vendor and kind of spread the wealth that way. But since we didn't go physically this year, I all of our money that we had allocated for Tucson went to this one vendor. So we did get a lot, I think, a pretty good selection. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. I know I did. This is from last year from that vendor. Oh boy, these are beautiful. These ones are on the website right now. And I believe these are Moss Aquamarine. And let me get the coupon or get the SKU for those. That's the carat weight, in case you were wondering. S1150. All right, that's that. And let me look that up so you'll get to know how much that is, because if you're interested. All right, so that one is Moss Aquamarine Bead Strand Faceted Shields. They're 16 millimeter by 12 millimeter. It's a 5.5-inch strand, only $36, and then save another 25% on top of that. I don't know. That's crazy. I am surprised that these are not sold, to be honest, because let me do some math, y'all. So these retail for $27 only after you use the coupon code moving sale in the online store. Holy guacamole, y'all. That's awesome. So I don't know if y'all gonna get those, but I like those. I certainly do. All right. Ooh, here are these ones. Oh, these are dang pretty. Let me try to pull this out. All right. Prepare yourselves to feast upon the beauty and the majesty. Doo-doom. Whoa. Look at that. Holy smokes. I am interested. I am surprised that this is still here as well. These ones S1110. So this one it's a little bit more of a spendy strand. It's on the website it's listed for $136. But if you use the coupon code moving sale, then you save 25% off. Now that sale is only good until tomorrow evening at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, whatever time, Eastern Time. And once it hits that, it rolls over, then it's gonna be done. So just keep that in mind. Now we got these, I think, last year. This is a more spendy strand, but take a look. Gee golly, this simple cut faceted aquamarine nuggets. These are so lovely. I'm gonna keep this strand. Maybe I will. All right, don't look too hard. All right, so yeah, we have a lot of things on the website. I'm just giving you kind of like a teaser taste of some different things that we have. There's all kinds of stuff. I don't know what y'all are interested in. Are you all interested in these? Still? Alright, this one's a little bit. Let me see. Alright, so this one is. These are little faceted, large hold Amazonite beads. These ones are the coupon, or the SKU is 5274. Boy, that looks terrible. It's an 8-inch strand. These are 8mm faceted rondelles, large hole, Amazonite. You can see these are not as tight as the ones that we just showed the other day. We had some Amazonite that knocked my socks off. It's got the facets are so sharp, they're like diamonds blinging in my eyes. But these ones, the facets are a little bit softer, but they do have larger holes. So if you want something that's more rustic, with like leather, some large hole pearls. I have this really beautiful leather that's like a seafoamy kind of green, kind of teal color. Let me get it for you, and so you can picture it with me. Y'all can see it with your eyes with me. Of course, that is if I can find it. Like, wouldn't this be pretty with it? I got this leather. This is a 2mm leather. Wouldn't that be pretty? Do one of them wrap bracelets, chandelier style, or just string that up and knot it. Call it even. I don't know if we have any leather in the store right now in the online store. Let me look, because I think that would be great for that. No, we don't have any leather in the online store right now. But if you do want some of this leather, email us at info@allegorygallery.com and we can hook you up. Because we have a whole store full of stuff that is in boxes right now or fixing to be in boxes. So, yeah. I kind of, I don't know. I'm getting kind of where I want to do something. How about we do something? Are y'all in favor of that? You want to do something real quick? Instead of me showing you stuff, do you want to see stuff like me showing you products, or do you want to see a project or something? Let me see. Julie says, always love a project. Let's do a project. I kind of get sometimes where oh, I have an idea. Hold tight. You're going to look at the leather for a second. The leather that's not in the online store. All right. So we're going to have a plot twist, y'all, and do something else. Marion says project. Teresa says project. Okay, good. Let's see. All right. So, as some of you know, I do a lot of work that I show in museums now. And so I started this piece when my dad started getting sick. And so if you're new, he passed away. But so each one of these, so I cut this out on the laser, one of my silhouette portraits, in acrylic, and then I used this embroidery floss and created this kind of grid. Of course, it's picked up every hair in creation because it's rolling around. But and then I'm making these little flowers. So I thought maybe I would show you how I make the flowers. And then I've been adding like 1 or 2 a day. Though in theory, if I had more time, I'd probably try to bust the whole thing out. So this is Fireline. It's a microfuse braided thread. This is a 6-pound. It's in smoke. So I like to cut off a wingspan. If you don't know what a wingspan, it's your arm plus your torso width. And some people say, oh, you don't have a wing, so it's not really a wingspan. But that's what it's called. I didn't make it up. I'm going to cut this off. We also have this in the store, in the physical store. So if you ever need anything that you don't see on the website, just email us at info@allegorygallery.com and we can hook you up. All right. And we're going to put this thread, we're going to thread the needle. And I'm actually going to change the background of this so you can see it a little better. All right, so I've threaded the needle, and then I'm going to string up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. They're about size 6 black vintage check beads. So I'm going to string this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to walk these down until they're almost to the end, but not quite. That's always the trickiest part. And then I'm going to grab the end. I'm going to give myself a 3 or 4 inch tail, and then I'm going to tie this into a knot. All right. So the ends are going to meet, and then I'm going to tie this into another knot. And then I'm going to do this little twice over knot where I go 1. They call that a surgeon's knot. And go through twice. And that's going to lock it in place and make sure it's nice and secure. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do, you see that? And also when you use the smoke, it's going to look like you are a coal miner. Just ignore that because that's what happens. And then whenever I'm working, I don't like to work directly on top of the knot to start. So I'm going to string this through and move this to the next bead. And I'm going to start there. And the reason why is I'm trying to distribute kind of the force that's put onto my thread, right? So I don't want to have all my work just hanging out on that knot, because if it's just hanging out on that knot, then if that knot gets caught, then the whole thing comes undone. So we don't want that. So the next thing I'm going to do is, boy, I forgot how to do this and I just did them. I'm going to string on one size 10 seed bead, one of these vintage black seed beads, and then I'm going to go into the next bead. All right, I'm going to jump over into the next bead right here. So I'm going, the thread's coming out of this one, and I'm going to go into this one. And I'm going to pull tautly, not too tight. That's the one thing about seed beading, is that it's all about the tension. This is a fairly easy project. I'm going to pick up another size 10. I'm going to go into the next size 6, the next door neighbor, and pull that. And then I'm going to go and pick up another size 10 and go into the next door neighbor. And then I'm just going to go all the way around until I've gone through all of them. All right. And these are vintage seed beads, so they are a little bit wonky. These are not, these are check. So you kind of have to look at them as you're going. They're the Japanese seed beads are usually a little bit more more consistent. Sometimes these are a little bit wonkadoodle, but because of the nature of this, it's fine. All right, so I've got one more that I have to fill in. All right, So here, when I've completed going all the way around, I'm going to go through this bead, this size 6 seed bead, and this size 10 seed bead. All right. So it's going to jump up to the next row. So I'm putting my needle. I've got one of those little beads on. I'm going to go through this 6 and up through that 10. All right. And then if you're watching on Instagram, say hello. You never know if y'all are just catching it real quick or what, but it's always nice to be able to hear from everybody in all of our communities. All right. So this is currently sticking out of this size 10, right? So I'm going to move my seed beads a little bit closer. So I'm going to pick up 3. 1, 2, and 3. And what I'm going to do is it's coming out of this. I'm going to loop back around and go through that bead that we just went through, go through this 6 and out through that 10. All right. So we're adding 3 beads and going like that. So it makes this kind of funny shape like this. And at first it looks kind of like sloppy. It don't look like nothing. But again, it's all about tension. And the more you I kind of also feel like with a lot of seed bead projects, it's all about having faith. Because at first it's going to look like a piece of chewed up bubble gum. And then all of a sudden you get a couple rows in, and then it all comes together. All right. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to jump back around. We're going to go back through this size 10 on the other side, go through that 6 and go through that size 10 that's next door. And you notice I'm kind of being ginger about this because this can get tangled up. We don't want this to get tangled up. We want this to kind of sit where, let me see, I did that wrong. All right, so this is a learning moment. If you mess up, go through, never go through with the point of your needle, go through with the butt end of your needle or the eye end, and that will hopefully not tangle up your work because sometimes you can sew your work in and that's not ideal. Like now I just sewed it in, but that's okay. That's an easy fix. Okay. It's always easier, I feel like, when you're just doing it because I can sit down and do this in my sleep basically. But so where I messed up is I went directly from this end into this. I did not go back through that. So that's where I messed up. So it will make that little triangle point there like this. All right. So I'm going to pick up 3 of these size 10s. And you can probably work along with me because I'm going super slow. So you just need 6s and 10s. And you can do other colors. It's actually, if you learn with different colors, it's actually easier. So I'm going to go back through this on the other side and then go through that 6 and that 10, adding those 3 seed beads, and it's going to make that little fin. All right. And then I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go back through that size 10 that we just went through that 6, and then go through the 10 next door. And I'm moving my work clockwise. All right. And then I'm just adjusting the tension so that it comes and makes a little point. I want this middle one to point horizontally. All right, so we've got one more until we're in the next row. All right, so I'm going to pick up 3 more seed beads. I'm going to go through this side here and go up through. And this one, I'm only going through the 6. I'm not, to end the row, I'm going to only go through the 6. I'm not going to go through the next door neighbor 10. I'm going to carefully pull that so it doesn't get tangled up. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go up through this one. So we added these 3. I'm going to go up through this one on the side. That little side piece there. Make sure I don't get tangled up, because there's all those points that could get tangled. If you do get tangled, because it got tangled on the little tail, you just take the tail out or whatever it's getting tangled on. And then, let's see, let me pull this. All right, here you go. Okay, so I've gone up through that little side piece on there, and then I'm going to pick up a bead and then go through that point. All right. So you can see this one is the next. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this one. And then I'm going to pick up another bead, size 10, and I'm going to go down through the side piece and then through the number 6. And if you're really good, you can go up through that side piece 10 and do that. So this is what you're creating, is this shape here. So then you just repeat. So I'm going to go and pick up a size 10 and go through that little point. And then go into the next, pick up another bead, go through that side piece, go through that 6. And if you can't go through that 10, that side piece 10, you can just go through the 6 and then go up through that 10. All right, does that make sense? And then you pick up a bead, you go through that middle point, and then you pick up another bead and go down through this one and out through that number 6. And like I said, if you're good, you can kind of get them to go through the other one to step it up into that next row. But if you're not, that's okay. You can just go through that 6 and then go up through that 10. But the idea is you're creating kind of this little triangular shape that you're going to make the rest of the petal on. All right. And this really is, I think it's more dramatic when you use different colors. I'm doing this because it's kind of like a memento mori piece. That's a lot of like Victorian mourning jewelry was carved and like jet. And there's a big kind of like tradition of like flowers. Um, so that's why I'm using just black. But if you use other colors, it really looks pretty, and it's maybe easier to kind of see and understand, um, as the steps because it's more color coded. Um, so there's that. So if I was going to teach this and not have it for my own project, I would probably do it in multicolors so you get a little bit easier time seeing it. All right. So once you reach the end of going around the flower, you go through that 6 just like normal. And then you go up through these 2. All right. So you come up through those 2, and then you add your 3 beads again. And these are size 10. And you can experiment with different sizes, and it will just have a different look. It may throw off your spacing a little bit. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is you're coming up through here, you're adding 3, then you're going to go down through these 2, right? And then you're going to go through your 6, and then you're going to start over again, where you're coming up through those 2. All right. So I'm going to come up through these 2, like so. I'm going to spill my drink. And I'm going to pick up 3. 1, 2, 3. Then go down through these 2. And there you go. And when it comes together, it's very satisfying. It's very satisfying to see that come together. It's like, wow, it's finally shaping up. It looks like a flower. Did you all see the bead museum? Beadwork Museum is doing an open call. I think they do one every year, and then they auction off the stuff that gets donated. So last year it was stars. This year it's fishes and wishes or something. I think the deadline's coming up pretty soon, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that or not. I'm also really busy right now. But if I do get a chance, if I have to carve out a couple hours, maybe I'll make something real quick. And so I'm picked up 3 beads. I'm going down through the 2 on the side and then out through that 6 and then going into the next petal. All right. So what do y'all think of that? This is pretty much done when I get to the end. So I'm just going to repeat. A lot of the flowers and stuff like this is just repetition. So once you get that kind of basic form down, then you just do it over and over. So it's not really anything. Like I know some things are kind of complicated, but this is pretty easy once you get going. It's just getting those initial kind of like steps, and once you do one, then that business is get baked in there. So I like these. If you did them in more spring colors, that could be something that's really fun. Then you could also do like mandalas. I think I showed how to do some mandalas before. But these basically the kind of similar steps. And then you just adjust. You can make this a multi. I have this as a 5 flower But if you wanted to do another odd number, you could definitely do that. I don't know how it would look even number. And I also don't know how, if you do it super big, you'll end up with kind of like an empty space in the void. So you just have to keep that in mind. All right. So done. So then at that point, I would just pick up one of the thread bridges, go underneath one of the thread bridges, and makes a loop like this, and then go up through that loop. And then it ties it off closed. So you make a little flower. What did y'all think about that? That didn't take too long. It felt like it took forever because usually I just kind of sit down and do it and not have to like crane around and look underneath the thing and look underneath the thing. That didn't help. And then for me, what I'm going to do with this is that I'm going to sew this down into this piece here. And there's holes that go through there, and then I'm just going to sew it down. Lena says, cute. Marion says, seems easy enough. Norma says, nice. Teresa says, love this. Thank you. If you don't want to like sew this into a piece like that, you can also sew this onto a piece of leather. You just work your way down to the middle of the flower and then sew that on. Karen's watching. Hey, Karen. It's been a while. So you can do that like that, and sew it down, or you can connect them so they can fit together. And if you have two kind of ends, you can have them connect. So you can add a jump ring and ear wire. Done. Yeah, you can also bead an attachment as well. Now, if you do decide to incorporate jump rings, one thing I would suggest is to go through and reinforce your threads. So right now, there's in some of these places, especially this tippy tip, there's one thread. So just go back around and retrace your steps for the outside line, and that will increase your threads and make it a lot sturdier. Because I'm sewing them onto something like this, I don't need that. But if you're going to make this into something where you're going to have this hung from something or hanging from something, then you'll definitely want to do that to just add a little bit more security. And that's as simple as just retracing your steps. And and this, you can weave this in and tie a knot. If you have this long enough, you just weave this in and then tie a knot and then trim it. And then that gets that out of the way. I forgot to mention that. But let me show you what I mean by retrace your steps. Okay, I'm going to go through the size 6. And this one you kind of have to be careful with because what's going to happen is it's going to want to get caught on those petals. So you just have to be mindful of that. And as long as you're aware of what's happening, then you won't get it caught. But that's the only real kind of danger zone that you're going to need. I also hold the beadwork between my thumb and forefinger, and that increases the rigidity so that when I'm pushing the needle through, it's not all flopping. It kind of looks painful for me to demonstrate this because I'm not holding this in a way that I normally would. And also, I'm not sitting in a way that I normally would either. I'm like hunched over and trying to look underneath the camera. and that's not the way, y'all. That's called Neck Pain City. But for you all, I will have the neck pain for you all. I'm not set up like Jen has it at the cottage. She's got it where they got this camera arm that goes above her, and that's nice. One day. Right now, I got this focus. I got this on a tripod, and it's like pretty low to the ground. And I can't. I get kind of that spatial. It's not spatial dysmorphia, but it's where the space doesn't seem right when you're looking at it through the camera screen. It kind of looks weird when you look through on the camera screen. So, it because it doesn't have that immediate connection point. So let me just show you. Do y'all like that? A little flower. Perfect for spring. Maybe not the black one, unless you're having the memento mori time also. But this is if you wanted to, you could make a little band and then use this like use a button as the middle of that. That would be cute. I don't really have any buttons with me right now. Let me think. Maybe I do. I don't know. Maybe I do. You could put a gemstone. The onion cut would be particularly nice. In the middle of that little void there. Or you could use this as a bead cap. What about that, y'all? I am reinforcing my stitches. So you know what I'm talking about, right? You don't want your beadwork hanging by a thread because if you have just one thread, one yank is gone. It's done fall apart. But you go through multiple times, it gets real sturdy, surprisingly. I guess it's not surprising, but it does get stronger the more times you go through. Now, the one kind of thing that you have to be cognitive of, if you're doing this with smaller beads, say you want to get micro mini style and bust out them 15s, then you can't go through as many times with your thread because the hole gets plugged up with thread and you can break your beads. So just be aware of that. You want to go through enough times that it's secure, but also not so many times that you end up busting your beads because you literally they'll shatter if you go through too many times. So just keep that in mind as you're doing this. So you've got this, but you could use this as a bead cap. Put a button in the middle. Let me see if I got a button. Oh, this one's hanging out. I forgot that was there. I was looking at one of my pieces that I like. You could have kind of a center. That's maybe not the right size. Karen says beautiful. Teresa says I could use these on fabric. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I would love to see if you make something. Show us in the group that I'll put the banner up for that. In the Allegory Gallery Design Challenge group, because we always love to see if people, use these techniques that we share. I wasn't going to really share anything tonight. I was going to just show product from the website, but I was kind of getting bored. So I decided to show you this flower instead. What did you all think of that? That shift in thinking. All right. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get something to eat. We've been on for 2 hours and 6 seconds and 5 seconds and 4 seconds. So I'm gonna call it neat. But thank you so much for all of your support out there. We really do appreciate it. It means a lot to us that we're able to do the things that we do. I think we're not rich, but we have a pretty good life where we get to make things and travel around and find things for all of you out there. So we're super grateful for our life right now. We're very, very thankful. And y'all, we all care about y'all. I know Lennis was talking about this in a comment to somebody, but it's about normalizing saying I love you to your friends. But we have lots of love for all of you out there. Hashtag AGBead fam. And we're sending you all lots of positive energy. And hopefully, y'all are having a good week so far. And yeah, if you need anything, you know where we are. If you do want to take advantage of that sale, that's moving sale, all one word, all undercase, all together. That's on our website, and that's only for our website and on most things, but there are a few exclusions. So just keep that in mind. Um, but make sure to put that in when you're checking out. All right. Thank you again. Have a great night, everybody. See ya.